What's up guys, it's McNulty here. Welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are all doing well, and it is time for another episode of Should You Summon? And it is kind of a weird video today because nobody is talking about this new hero that is coming to the portal this weekend. I've seen more than Mike and Ivy Lee made a video on this hero, but it was kind of difficult because they couldn't make heads or tails of anything. And I think that's a little bit of a reason why people are not talking about this hero. So this weekend, in the summon portal, we have got one of the most sought after heroes in the whole entire game, which is obviously Hex. I mean, Hex is a superb hero, excellent against the guild boss. He will increase your scores. If you want to get that dragon blood, Hex is your guy, no doubt. But we're not really here to talk about Hex because most people who play the game know he's great and they kind of know what he does. I might put together another video on him at some point, but for today, we are talking about our newest hero in the portal this weekend, which is going to be this weird looking mage called Xaris. I think that's how you say his name. And seriously, just have a little look at this guy. I mean, the devs at freaking Moonton are having a field day with their art. I mean, just this guy is the creepiest looking dude. He's got 4 arms. 2 of his arms are stuck in this weird cross that's shackled around his neck. And if you turn him around, look at that. He's got a bunch of human skulls on his back and freaking hair for days. Just the weirdest looking character, and I absolutely love it. I think it's freaking great. This guy just looks insane. Anyway, it's not all about the way a character looks, as we well know. We've got to find out what this guy does. So we're going to take a closer look at Xaris today. And we'll get right into it, honestly, because I'm interested in this guy. I'm as interested as anybody, because I'm definitely going to be pulling this weekend. I would like an A1 for my Hex, and I might like one of this guy, but I am pretty close to pity, so that's good. Still only spent $5 on this game, by the way, and I'm very, very proud of that because the roster is looking pretty staunch, and that's one thing that I do enjoy about the game. So anyways, let's get into this guy. So let's read the little blurb. It says he's been exiled from the mortal realm and imprisoned deep within the netherworld. Xaris reigns over countless souls, ruthlessly commanding the spirit stolen from the nether god in his relentless quest for truth. Okay, so maybe he's a good guy. He doesn't look like a good guy to me. I'm just saying he looks freaking evil. So we've got summon and burst damage, multi-target attack. That's what it's saying that this guy is good at. He does have a talent where he summons 3 souls of the damned when he's first deployed. So let's have a look at what these things are. So the soul of the damned is a like minion spirit, whatever you want to call it, summon. You know, people have different names for these things in different games, but it's basically a minion that he summons. It inherits 100% of his attributes and assists the master in attacking enemies in range. Okay, so we can see his range. He's got the regular the mage range, and 3 of these minions or souls get summoned straight away when he's deployed, and they inherit 100% of his attributes. So they got all of his attributes, and you've now got 3 of this dude on the field doing attacks. So it says they attack enemies in range. Each attack deals 80% AoE magic damage, up to 5 enemies. So they're attacking multiple enemies for 80%, and then the souls of the damned exist for 30 seconds. So as soon as you place this guy on the field, you get 3 souls of the damned, and they're there for the first 30 seconds. And that's just his talent. We haven't gotten to anything else yet. Seems pretty nice so far. In terms of cost, actually that's a good thing to go straight into now. We'll open up the hero details tab here. You can see that at the max level his range stays the same. He doesn't get an increased range or anything like that. The biggest thing about this hero is he is very, very low cost. So as I mentioned, Mortar Mike and Ivy Lee eventually figured out it might be a good idea to where you place this guy, take him off, place him, take him off. We'll see if that's the best way to use him in a bit, but I think they may be onto something, to be honest. So 12 cost is absolutely great. His ultimate cost is extremely good. The attack interval is very, very high though. So it means it's gonna be a struggle to get this guy to speed up. His attack interval's running at 4 seconds, which is kind of an eternity, unfortunately, but hopefully you'll be able to get that down, because that is the main thing with this guy. You want the attack interval to be fast, you want the attack interval of the summons to be fast, because remember, they inherit all of this guy's attributes. So it said 100% of his attributes, if I'm reading that correctly, they're going to be exactly a replica of him all over the field. So it might look interesting. I'm interested to see how this guy's special looks. I really hope that I do pull him. Main thing though, cost really good, and the cost of his ultimate really good as well. Now let's open up the ultimate. In fact, let's go to the basic attack because it's pretty straightforward. So it says here, when there are no souls of the damned on the field, restores 6 rage per second. So he's getting up to his ultimate quicker when there are none of these minions on the field, because he is a summoner, he's a minion hero, that's what he does. Now when there are souls of the damned on the field, then the hero's basic attack will launch something called coercion instead. Now what is coercion? Let's find out. Let me move myself there. So he attacks one soul of the damned every 4 seconds, increasing their damage by 40% for 5 seconds. So I feel like he's whipping these souls. Like, this is an evil character. He's like all about that BDSM stuff. But anyways, he's whipping these souls, he's increasing their damage by 40% for 5 seconds, yet he's reducing their existence time by 5 seconds. So he's making it so that they stay around for a shorter period of time, but they do more damage while they're there. I really like that. It's an interesting mechanic. I love interesting mechanics, so that is really cool. And then basic attack is unaffected by attack speed, it says. So it's kind of a tricky one to figure out. I'm not going to dwell so much on that. I'm just thinking about this guy whipping all of his minions into shape. That's basically what his basic attack is doing. Now the ultimate skill is this. So he summons immediately 4 souls of the damned. So remember, when he's deployed, he gets 3. Upon his ultimate, he then summons 4 souls of the damned. We don't know whether these souls of the damned can coexist. It doesn't say there's a certain amount as a maximum. Usually they do say there's a certain amount as the maximum if that is the case. We do have like a little graphic here, so they don't really look exactly like him, but it doesn't give you a good idea of how long they stick around and exactly how much damage that they do. So he summons these 4 souls of the damned, and then the number of souls reduces by 1 with each ultimate cast. So every time you cast the ultimate while this guy's on the field, first time he's going to summon 4, second time 3, third time 2, and then fourth time 1. I don't know if you get lower than 1. Probably not. We'll see. Anyway, I do know now because I just read this. So a minimum of 1 souls of the damned can be summoned. All right, so that's the end basically. It's just 1 soul. The skill cost gets reduced with each skill up. So that is really good. The skill cost is already pretty low. It means that the ultimate will come around faster. Remember that he regenerates rage quicker when none of these souls of the damned are on the field. So it's kind of to a case where he's always going to be summoning minions. That's what we hope, at least, and I think that's what they want. Now, next passive, we'll look at the passives. So the first one's called Tormented Spirit. When summoned, souls of the damned enhance their next 2 attacks, each dealing 160% damage and inflicting slow. This is where that sort of burst damage comes in, because initially when they get summoned, they are at their strongest. So they're going to be dealing 160% damage, unless he's at the point where he's just whipping them into shape. But with this one, 160% damage when souls of the damned are summoned, and enhances their next 2 attacks. They also deal slow. I mean, it's a pretty decent amount of damage, and I think you can add that to the 80% of damage that they already do. So 240% magic damage per 2. I mean, it doesn't actually say magic damage, but I'm assuming it is. The 80% is definitely going to be AoE. I don't know if this will or not, but it's not clear from the card. But it does inflict slow, so it is going to make it to where the targets that you're attacking are coming in at a slower speed. So that's pretty cool in and of itself. Next passive, and the last passive for this guy. After any souls of the damned disappear, the existence of the remaining souls of the damned will be extended by 1 second, and that's called purgatory. That's pretty appropriate, I think. It's not a long time that the duration's extended though, so it's not really something you're going to plan around. I do think that it's just a little bit of an added bonus, and it just, if you skill it up, it'll extend the time. It looks like you can get up to, what's that, an extra 2 seconds. It's, I don't know. I mean, I'm not super excited about the passives, but I do like the way he summons them, the fact that they have such a strong power going in. And that is where we get to what I was saying, what Mortar Mike and Ivy Lee were talking about, is that this guy is the kind of hero that you put down for maximum impact right away. So we'll see. I'm not sure if he will work very well everywhere, but I certainly think that you will find places for him. I feel like he's good for like mazy maps where you've got to think about placing heroes all over the board, but you just want to have as many points of attack as possible. I feel like that's a good place for this guy, Void Rift, and obviously map content and things like that. No idea how he's going to work in the gear dungeons. We'll need to test. But I would certainly like to get my hands on this guy, if not only just to look at him and strike fear into my heart every time I open up this hero card, because he's insane, man. Look at him. Just look at him. He's freaking monster. Anyway, we have to look at the Awakening. So real quick, well, maybe you will, maybe you won't pull more than one of him. But if you do eventually get more than one of him, or you're a massive whale in this game, then you'll want to know this. The first Awakening is probably the most powerful, summons 2 extra souls of the damned when first deployed. So that just drops 5 of those suckers on the field immediately. And yeah, that's a lot of souls of the damned. That's going to be doing some pretty serious damage right away. So I would say that the Awakened one is extremely strong for him, because he's a summoner. He's going to benefit from summoning. Nora, she's okay. Like, I mean, there is some content where I believe she's really good, like in Guild Wars and that, but as far as I've seen and going up against her in the arena and stuff like that, I just don't feel like she's that strong. I do have your Merit, which is, you know, he's got the bond skill with Nora, but I'm kind of glad that I pulled him rather than her, which is kind of awkward. But yeah, I don't know how strong summoners are, but I feel like that's kind of the direction that the developers want to go in. And if that's the way they want to go, then they're going to be increasing the power of summoners in the future. So it can only be a good thing. So Awaken 1, extremely strong. Awaken 2, attack boost of 300. I didn't even really focus on his stats. I will just go over those in a second. Enhanced, what's this? So Awaken 3, when there are no souls of the damned on the field, each time the hero restores rage, there is a 5% chance to instantly gain full rage. Okay, that's pretty strong, because remember, his ultimate is all about summoning those minions. It's probably going to be where that would help you keep him around a little bit longer, make him a bit more survivable, and that's a good thing. But I don't see that being as strong as his Awaken 1, where he immediately gets those extra 2 minions, and I think that's the whole point, really. Sorry for moving myself around so much. Awaken 4, increased penetration by 8%, that's good. And then Awaken 5 increases the effect duration of coercion on the souls of the damned by 5 seconds. That's the one where he's whipping them into shape, isn't it? Yeah, where he attacks them, increasing that for 5 seconds. He reduces their existence time, but it increases the duration of the effect of coercion. So that kind of makes me think that you can have as many of these souls on the board as you like, or as you can get out there. So yeah, honestly, you might have a good case to where you pop this guy on the field, get as much maximum damage out of him as you can. You've got your tanks and stuff around, so you shouldn't have to worry too much. Pull him back off, put him back on again, get all of those minions out there, get him off the field again, and just populate the whole of the battlefield with these souls of the damned. That would be awesome. Hopefully that's how it works. We will see. But yeah, for now, I do really like this hero. I think he's interesting, and I definitely want to go ahead and have a look over his story. Should you summon this weekend? To answer that question, if you don't have this guy, hell yes, you should summon. You should definitely summon. He has increased my scores against the guild boss massively. That's one of the areas I was struggling in most. But I also use him all over the place. Used him in Gear Raid 3. He's fantastic pretty much everywhere. Sorry. But against the guild boss, he's a god, basically. He's godly. Okay, he's freaking awesome. So yeah, enough said. You should definitely summon if you don't have Hex. If you do have him, probably try and look for the A1. But if you don't, and you're interested in somebody who's a summoner who looks like he could be really good, but there is a little bit of the unknown and a little bit of that fear factor there, then yeah, I mean, I'm definitely gonna, like I said, but you can't pass up on this guy, man. Just look at this creepy character. Anyways, that is enough said about Xaris. Please do let me know in the comments what you guys think about Xaris. I'd be very interested to hear. Drop us a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and if you don't want to miss any future videos, and I will see you again soon. Bye for now.